Today is August 10th, 2026. We do have two hearings today, so we will begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Juan, could you lead us in the pledge, please? All rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Could you please take the roll?
Yes. Patrick Halpin.
Present.
Julianne Nolan.
Present.
Gerald O'Neill.
Present.
Edward Wynn.
Present.
Juan Leon.
Present.
Dan Trushin.
Present.
Frank Santos. Greg Gaxiola.
Present.
Nunzio Russo.
Present.
And Rich Casey.
Do we have a quorum?
Yes, you do.
Okay, we have a quorum. All right, before we start the public hearing, I need to read this into the record. The planning board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the planning board may determine that any approvals, building permits, or other actions previously granted in connection with the application are null and void.
Item A is a public hearing, departmental review, change of zone, job HPLN-30, Bowler Pharmaceutical Co. The applicant's proposing a change of zone from B residence G industry to G industry, along with associated site improvements.
Okay, who's here on behalf of the applicant?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. John Anzalone for Harris Beach, Myrtha Kalina, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Suite 901, Uniondale, New York, 11553.
Okay, so you're the attorney for the applicant?
Yes.
Okay, please proceed.
Thank you for the opportunity to make this presentation. I'm here tonight with respect to the change of zone application for 26 Bethpage Road in Copeg. The property is currently split zone Residence B in G Industrial and is developed pursuant to a certificate of occupancy issued in January of 1986.
Okay, before you go any further,
Sure.
I just need to be sure that you have reviewed the memo issued by the Commissioner of Planning regarding this application. And if you or your client have any concerns or any issues regarding any of the conditions or covenants or restrictions spelled out in this memorandum.
We do not. We have reviewed it. We do not have any issues.
So your client accepts all of the conditions and all
Yes.
the covenants and all the restrictions?
Yes.
Okay, please proceed. Thank you.
Within the G industrial zone is the existing two-story, approximately 39,753 square foot industrial building. It is utilized as a manufacturing warehouse and distribution center of over-the-counter pharmaceutical and vitamin mineral supplemental products in gummy dosage, and parking to the north of the building. In the Residence B zone is parking to the south of the industrial building, together with a wooded area at the southwest corner of the property. Under the proposed application, the entirety of the site would be rezoned to G industrial, and all uses of the existing building would remain in the exact same layout as has existed for more than 40 years. Concerning the abutting parcels to the north of the industrial zone portion of the property, the abutting parcels are Zone G Industrial and E Business. To the south of the Residence B portion of the property, the abutting parcels are Zone G Industrial and Residence B, with the existing wooden buffer area on the subject property proximate to the residential use of the parcel to the south fronting on Great Neck Road. The application before the board today includes no modifications to the existing improvements on the site. There are no new proposed buildings, no expansions of the buildings or its parking facilities, and no change of use. The genesis of this application is a result of the sale of the property from P&L Development LLC to the property owner. Pursuant to such contract of sale, P&L is required to pursue in good faith this application to rezone the property to eliminate the split zone so that the current operations at the property ever cease. The residential zoning does not create a complication for a new development or use. To that point, we note that the P&L is a party to a 2022 Town of Babylon Industrial Development Agency lease and project agreement that provides that the existing use will remain in operation at the property through February of 2038. Here, I also note that the sale was disclosed to the IDA, and the IDA has consented to the sale of the property in July of 2024. Further, the IDA consented in April of this year to the facility being subleased by P&L to a subsidiary of a publicly traded company, Top Gun Pharma, to conduct the existing gummy manufacturer distribution. P&L remains responsible for the various covenants under the IDA documents and its lease with the property owner. With us today, we have Adam DeZamba, Director of Operations from P&L Development, on hand to discuss the existing operations for which no change is proposed. Otherwise, we respectfully request this board to recommend the town board grant the application subject to the conditions and restrictions you noted earlier.
Okay. Are there any board members that have any questions regarding this application? No? No? None? Okay. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the board regarding this application? Come on up.
You gotta fill it out afterwards.
Okay. Take your time.
It's up there like it always is.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hold on for 1 second. When you finish, you're going to have to fill out this so we have the correct spelling of your name and your address and all of that. But you don't have to stop now to do it. So
Is that
please
this-
state.
is that
yeah,
this right here?
Exactly.
Okay, I
But-
will.
But after you finish.
Okay.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Madeline Jackson, 23 Edmonds Place, Copeg, New York.
Okay, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for explaining what the
Okay, no, you have to speak.
changes,
I'm sorry,
what
you
the
have to
changes are
speak
going
once.
to be.
Yeah.
The gentleman that was here representing the company. I'm here on behalf of some of the residents, and a question about what happens to the children who egress and use that area, because that building that's being discussed, the only way they can egress that is either through Bethpage Road to Sunrise Highway or Bethpage Road to Great Neck Road, right? So that if there is more industrial trucks, the junior high school kids use the Great Neck Road area, and that's being developed to help it make it more safe. At Great Neck Road, there's a lot of safety things being put in place there. And the high school kids use the Bethpage Road area to get to school. So to further complicate that area with more trucks, more business, and I'm not sure if anybody else spoke on behalf of the residents previously, but I remember when the Bolar building was built. And I know that it doesn't have any windows on the Great Neck Road area. So I'm wondering if there was ever a transportation study done to determine how that would affect the children going to school and the children using that area. And the other thing is, there are residents in that area, and can you explain to me what going to a C residential, C zoning area is? Does that mean that the residents, there can be no more houses built there?
Okay.
Or,
This is our planner. Could you address that, please?
So
good evening.
there's different zoning classifications within the town of Babylon, B residence being one of them, where predominantly the only permitted use is a single-family dwelling. What they're looking to do is rezone that portion of it to G industrial, so it's contingent with the use that is currently on the property. If this application is approved and the rezoning is approved, that means that they would not be able to build any houses on the south side of this site plan, and they would not be able to even subdivide off any portions of the parcel. Basically, it's making sure that this entire parcel is contingent with the zoning classification that allows for manufactured use.
So what's the difference between what
Okay.
is zoned
You
for
have to
now?
ask me. I'm
What's
sorry?
the difference between what is zoned for now and what they're trying to change it to?
Okay. Do you want to answer that question?
Yes, I can
And then
answer
we'll save some of the other questions for the applicant at the end of the hearing.
So there is no change with the business at hand, or there's really no changes with the site plan either. Basically, when this building was built back in the 80s, they did not make the applicant go for a rezoning on the south half of the portion. They allowed it by a special exception use permit or just by CO. What they're looking to do is just to ensure that the parcel meets the requirements of G Industry, and that anyone, let's just say if a new industrial use wanted to come in, then there would be no issues with any rezoning applications. It would make for sale a little bit easier.
I see. And there is, in that area, there is a house, was a house that had a relative that lived in there, and they built all around him in that area, built all those buildings around. So I'm just concerned about, I know they're trying to bring the building up to code, but I'm just concerned that whether this existing company or a future company wants to increase their trucks coming in and out, that they'll be engaging with children on the Great Neck Road side, which I'm not sure if that's the east side or the west side or the south side, or the Bethpage Road side. And as you know, there's an issue crossing Sunrise Highway as it is. So I just wanted to make sure that that was done and taken under consideration before any of these zoning changes were approved.
Okay. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to fill that out. You can go wherever it's comfortable for you to fill it out. You can take that clipboard with you if you want.
There's a pen
Yeah.
here.
Or you could sit down next to this gentleman and he'll help you with it.
Okay.
Because he's a gentleman and he knows that you need a little assistance there.
Okay.
So take your time, please.
All righty.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you very much.
Thank you for coming down. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board regarding this application? Okay. No? All right, is there anyone, counsel, you had mentioned that you have, who else with you?
Adam DeZamba, who's from operations.
Okay. Do you want?
Sure, we can-
Do you want him to come up to try to address some of the questions that were raised, or you can answer them
I
as
can
well?
answer certain questions. First
Okay, well,
off,
hold on. Let's get him. Have you filled out?
no, he's,
I haven't yet.
Okay, good. All right, let's get him sworn in first.
sure.
Okay, sir, please state your name and address for the record.
It's Adam DeZamba, 10 Abbey Drive, Middle Island, New York, 11953.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, counsel,
Sure. So with respect to the existing truck traffic, there is no change to the use, there is no change of operation proposed. There is no additional truck traffic proposed as part of this application. The site is leased to the same operation through 2038. So any future use of this property, if they were going to redevelop the property, they would have to come back before the planning board for site plan approval. If they're going to modify this building or the site plan that's before this board, they would have to get a amended site plan approval or a new site plan approval. If they were looking to change the use to a more intensive use, they'd have to come back again. It would probably impact the parking and traffic analysis that they need, and as well as the parking that's on site, which would require them to, again, reconfigure the property. So there is no change in the parking or traffic demand that is existing there today.
okay, and the gentleman next to you, your operations,
yes.
how is that working out now as it relates to the neighborhood? And since you're going to continue the same operations, tell us a little bit about the operations.
Yeah, so we run Monday through Friday. It's a one-shift operation. We're generally open. Our first shift starts at 6 a.m. The operation lasts until about 2:30 p.m. And then we also have some other individuals who work, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30 type positions. We have regular deliveries, I would say 1 or 2 deliveries per day. That's including, say, a FedEx and a UPS shipments. I was trying to think. So yeah, we have basically 1 or 2 shipments per day. And where we are right now, the site consists of about 30 employees in total. We do have room for a minor expansion on that first shift, but it would only be, upwards around 8 or 9 more individuals. But like John said, we've been running for the last 20, 30 years, basically at the same level. Business is pretty consistent. And we don't foresee any major increases in production or business in the foreseeable future.
Okay. Do any of the board members have any questions regarding this? No? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, hold on. All right, so counsel, why don't you come back up here? Just to state for the record again, as was just mentioned, this is the same operation that has been going on for a number of years.
Yes.
And as a result, and the number of employees will basically remain the same, give or take
Correct.
some. and you have ample parking on site.
Yes, we have parking for the current employees, and if they need additional, yes.
So in terms of the adjacent community and traffic on Bethpage Road and Great Neck Road, there will be no change?
No,
It's the same operation?
Correct. This is what they see today is what will be the case.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Okay. Normally, we don't take extra questions, but since you're the only one here, come on up and ask the question. Okay, and this gentleman who just started working out yesterday will help you. Don't struggle too hard. He'll got you. He's got you.
All right, the gentleman mentioned something about a sale, that the documents had to be in order so that if there's a sale of the company or some such thing, they can make the business transaction?
Hold on. We're the planning board.
Right.
So what does that mean? We don't get into this buy and the sale or any of that.
Right.
Our job is to make sure that, in this case, this operation is going to continue to be the same operation that has been going on. This is a really, they're trying to clean up the zoning. Which is because no one's going to have, they were never going to sell residential, put houses there. It was not happening. It's all part of so none of that will change.
Okay.
Period.
Yes, but they
Okay.
did mention earlier something that had to be in order to do the sale of the business.
Hold on. Again, the short answer to that, counsel, this is our attorney, is that is something that is not happening. But in the event it happens at some point in the future, they would need to do that.
Yeah.
So they're just basically cleaning up what was a very, what would I say? He mentioned something really important, which is he said they had a special use permit. Is that correct?
So back when, if a parcel was constructed on property that does not meet the correct zoning, it was either grandfathered in per se, or they allowed for a CO that on a parcel that did not have the correct zoning. So the use is permitted under G industrial predominantly. It was just this bottom half of the site that was the incorrect zoning, but it was basically, how do I explain this? So
Well, let me put it to you this way. We're trying to clean up some messes. And this is, we're trying to get our zoning really clear, really explicit. And going back, how many years ago?
I believe this was constructed back in the 80s.
So we're talking about something at least 40 years ago. Now, this planning board in this town has really worked hard to make sure we've got a great, strong planning department and that we're able to fix some things that should have never gone without being all rezoned. And so we're fixing it because
Right.
they have a.
I appreciate that, but for the same reasons that you point out, I don't know if there's ever been a transportation study to look at how these kids, what the needs are of these walkers to school.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's ever been done.
I'm sorry. Thank you for making that point. And the short answer is there's no need for a traffic study given the use is the same.
Well, that's my point.
so it is what it
It's
is.
never
No,
been done, though.
no,
Just
your
like
point-
this needed to be corrected, the building was just put there, and the community just dealt with it.
Yeah.
And nothing ever changed with the kids as far as making sure that they were safe.
I understood.
And I just wanted you to consider that, that's all.
No, and thank you very much for coming
Thank you.
out this evening. I really appreciate it. Yes, sir. Counsel?
Make a statement for the record. I think, and the council for the applicant can confirm this, I believe that there is a sale of the property pending, okay? The use is not going to be changing now. What they're doing is they're trying to conform the zoning classification to the use that's already been approved and grandfathered in, so to speak. So what this board will do is we're reviewing what the use is, but we're going to be referring this most likely to the town board. So if the zoning is going to be changed to conform to the CO that they already have, That will be done by the town board at another hearing. And then if something was to change beyond that, as council indicated, they would have to come back for a new business or a change or an increase or a modification of the site. So nothing is contemplated to change now other than making the zoning classification permanent, which will be done by the town board. And if something changes after that, there'll be another hearing. But there will be another hearing now before the town board of the town of Babylon. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you, Counselor. That was excellent. And the last point is that the town board will be required to hold a public hearing regarding the specific zoning. Counsel, is there anything you want to add?
No, the council well summarized the procedural aspects of this. The one thing I will note is there is no proposed sale now. The sale already occurred in 2024.
Okay.
This was a condition that we seek it in good faith. Obviously, it's a legislative act. There's no obligation that we get a change of zone because there's no possible way that we can guarantee a change of zone. This is a legislative act.
Good, thank you for stating that for the record. All right, thank you all very much. I'm going to, let's see, request a motion to close this public hearing. Motion by Jerry.
Motion to close and reserve.
Second by Ed, and to reserve the decision.
Second.
Okay, so this public hearing has now been closed. The decision, though, has been reserved in order for us to review the feedback we've received this evening and any open site plans. The record will remain open for written comments. To follow up on the status of the application or to submit additional written comments, you can contact the planning department in a number of different ways. In person, planning is located on the west wing of Town Hall. Application documents, plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. or by phone, 631-957-3103, or via email, planningcomments@townofbabylonny.gov. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item B is an informational hearing, site plan review, job HPLN-130, Next Generation Sports Complex LLC. The applicant proposes to demolish existing structures in order to construct a 31,097 square foot, two-story plus basement indoor sports complex, along with associated site improvements.
Okay, sir, please state your name and address for the record.
Anthony Curcio, Curcio Law, 566 Broadway, Massapequa, New York, 11758. Good evening, Chairman, members of the board.
Thank you. There has been a memo issued regarding this application dated the 3rd of August, 2026 by Denise Graziano, the Commissioner of Planning and Development, with a series of conditions and covenants and restrictions. Are there any issues regarding any of the items on this memorandum?
No, there isn't.
That you want to bring to our attention?
No.
So your client agrees to all of the conditions and any covenants and restrictions that are here?
That is correct.
Okay, please proceed.
Here on behalf of the applicant, Next Generation Sports Complex LLC, property in connection with tonight's application is located at 388 Broad Hollow Road in Farmingdale. Property is an L-shaped lot next to a 7-Eleven gas station convenience store. To the south, public storage facility to the south, to the east, and an additional public storage facility directly across Broad Hollow Road going northbound. Property also abuts to the rear Saltzman East Memorial Elementary School. As such, the property is currently situated will not adversely affect any residential areas. The applicant is proposing construction of a 31,097 square foot building on a 2-acre lot to be used as an indoor 2-story multi-sports complex to be used for training athletes and hosting various sports leagues, tournaments, and the like. The facility is going to include basketball courts, batting cages, indoor turf for training purposes, and other areas typical of an indoor multi-sports complex. Proposed hours of operation will be 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday. We believe that the layout of the site and the structure of the building takes into careful consideration the effect on the neighboring properties and the character of the area and the demand of the residents of the town of Babylon. In addition, the benefit of youth development and participation in sports year-round is a benefit that the residents of the town of Babylon can get behind. I'm joined tonight by Joseph Mueller and Isaac Neal, principals of the applicant, Bill Cohen, Cohen Design, the project architect, Mason Bergerson, Phronesis Engineering, traffic engineer, and Sylvia Baptiste, civil engineer. I'm going to call Bill Cohen now to give his presentation.
Did you fill out one of these?
I did not, but I can.
Oh, okay. Well,
After the hearing, I'm happy
You're
to.
going to have to after you speak. Okay, please state your name and address
Sure.
for the record.
William J. Cohen, AIA. I'm the architect of record for Next Generation Sports. Our corporate address, 5512 Merrick Road, Massapequa.
Okay, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, please proceed.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate the board allowing us to present tonight. Very appreciative. As you can see by the contingents that we have here tonight, very, very excited to present tonight. This is a great project. Really excited for the kids, especially that this project is going to serve. As our attorney presented to you already, it's a 2-acre lot, flag shape right off of Route 110, Broad Hollow Road. The footprint of the building is approximately 31,000 square feet. It is going to be a pre-engineered steel structure, so similar to like a hangar type structure. The building is going to be essentially 3 levels. There'll be a lower level that will be the footprint of the building, roughly 31,000 square feet as discussed, including basketball courts, some turf areas, and batting cages, some offices. On the main level is mostly just reception lobby areas and essentially the areas around the basketball court below ends up being a sort of like a mezzanine looking down into the lower level. And then the third level is strictly just an open turf area for sports such as lacrosse and football. This building is going to be, as previously discussed, it's going to be an indoor recreational facility for school-age children for all sorts of training, a lot of multifunction and multi-purpose uses here for the kids. As far as the building itself, like I mentioned, it's going to be a pre-engineered structure. We're going to be approximately 12 feet below grade as far as the lower level. The main level, of course, for ADA purposes and accessibility purposes off the parking lot will be at a grade of 0, located at grade level, 0 elevation. And then as per the drawings, the second level will occur 14 feet above grade. From there, the building essentially is a flat roof structure, has a slight pitch to it. As a pre-engineered structure, as I mentioned, we're seeking a height of 45 feet. That roof height does not include any rooftop equipment whatsoever. They'll all be at ground level. So the ridge point of that building will essentially be that 45-foot mark that we're seeking. Aside from that, of course, along Broad Hollow Road, there are many functions, many different types of building structures that occur on that main corridor, and being the main corridor through town, we feel it's an ideal use. It's slightly set back. Once again, the fact that it is a flag-shaped lot, there is some visibility while driving by, but essentially it will be secured and tucked away safely and nestled in within that back portion of the westerliest part of the site. This is the first of 2 facilities. There's another one that's currently under development as well. That one is across the border in town of Oyster Bay in Massapequa, and we are working on that one as well.
Okay. Do any of the board members have any questions? Barry?
Number one, I'm happy to see this coming. 9 out of my 10 grandkids play multiple sports. I spend too much time in these places. But the fact that I do, I have a question about parking.
Sure.
I don't know if when they calculate parking, they take into account the fact that the place could be full of kids and parents actively playing a game, and the next crew coming in, because you stack them up one on top of the other, they come in and stand around waiting for their turn on the court. There's almost always 2 sets of people hanging there. is that something that the parking calculation takes into account?
I'll put it this way, I'm just the architect. even
Okay,
though
well,
I'm an important
maybe
part
someone
of
else
this.
can answer that
I'm going
question.
to defer that to the civil engineer, who's going to answer and touch upon that, but I will say this, from an architectural standpoint, even though the building has a 31,000 square foot footprint, and the same thing the turf level at the second level, the basement or lower level, and then the main first floor is only about 10,000 feet. Regardless of the size of this building, there's only a certain amount of kids that can play. So if it's a basketball court, and again, the owners and the civil engineer will testify to this, even though the basketball court, maybe I'm throwing numbers, the basketball court's 8,000 square feet, there can only be 10 kids on the court at the time. So even though the building is quite sizable, there's only a certain amount of people that can actually use it.
Okay.
And then their scheduling will reflect. So therefore, the parking calculations also will reflect. There's only a certain amount of kids that can use the building at a certain time.
I hope so, because my kids will be playing there.
Mine too.
Okay.
Thank you. Like I said,
Council,
they'll attest to that.
who else would you like to address the board? Okay.
Thank you.
Don't forget to fill out
Yes.
this. Okay. Hold on. Okay, hold on, sir. Dan, you have one quick question for the architect? Okay, you have to come back here.
I got a question? I'm sorry.
So, the roof itself, what type of roofing material is it going to be?
The roofing material, it's a metal, steel, prefabricated building, so it'll be a metal roof.
And so it's going to be metallic color?
I think they're talking white, actually.
Okay.
It's white, correct? I forget, actually. I'm sorry. I believe it's white, though.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, is the building structure capable of holding a green roof if we requested that?
It is not designed for that, no, but maybe that's something under consideration. For a building of this size, usually prefab steel engineered buildings such as this are typically a one-level building, slab on grade. The fact that this is a multi-level building with a lower level, there's quite a bit of engineering that is going into this and still being refined. And part of the reason, regardless of the height restrictions, even putting the rooftop AC equipment up there is something that we probably wouldn't consider, so.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Anybody else?
Okay, hold on. Who's next to speak? Because this gentleman is standing. Is he going to save him for later?
He's going to speak on.
Okay, that's fine. You call it. Okay, sir, did you fill out one of these?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. Hold on, let me see. What is your name?
Right there.
It doesn't do us any good over there. And next time, don't turn it into
An airplane.
an airplane.
Folded twice.
Okay, sir, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Isaac Neal, personal address 1774 Maricoke Avenue in Wantagh, New York.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please proceed.
Again, thank you guys for your time this evening. I wanted to just address Mr. O'Neill's question in full. I've spent a tremendous amount of time, both professionally and personally, inside of these spaces. Quite frankly, like it's one of the major reasons why we are embarking on this journey together, both as a director of operations, professionally as a business owner, and as a father of two. I spend way too much time between all of their sports in these places. In regard to scheduling, my background is in academic administration, both private and public, and I was an athletic director. So scheduling to me, outside of the physical day-to-day schedule for which kids move throughout a building, I take a lot of pride in that. So it's one of those areas where looking at the tournaments and they're charging you $20 to enter and $50 to park and it's all outsourced. That's not what we're looking to do. And that's not something that really sits in like any of our fiber of being. It's more so about creating like a true experience for families. So to your point, when you can't get your car out or you're being trampled by the kids who are excited walking into a space, it throws off the experience. You know, on our end, with the size of the structure, it's about scheduling appropriately. It's about making sure that it's extremely inclusive in regard to who's there on any given day and not, for lack of a better phrase, packing the place. It's more so about providing an experience to the smaller businesses that are utilizing that space to further, you know, whom they're coaching that we pick and go through. So I don't know if you have like a follow-up to that, but I wanted to just address that from a programming standpoint in full.
Yeah, I actually have a follow-up to that. I'm just looking at the calculations, and it says that you're providing 50 off-site stalls.
Okay, counsel,
says 50.
hold on. Hold on. With this hearing is recorded and it's broadcasted, so please.
It was
speak correctly
it
to
was 50, it should be 65.
And where are those?
That is at 110 Broad Hollow Road. We have an off-site agreement with them.
Have enough.
Okay, hold on. Where is Broad Hollow Road? I'm watching the arrow here. I'm getting worried.
Just north of you?
South of there. South, sorry. Down south.
Okay.
Beyond the 7-Eleven? Is that what you said? Below 7-Eleven.
Wow.
Sapavia, yeah.
Closer to Burger King.
That's it right there.
Yeah, okay.
Can we go to street level there, please?
Yes, correct.
And how far is that from your site?
0.4 miles
0.4. On 110, walking on 110.
on 110, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions? No? Any other questions? Go ahead. Juan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So again, looking at the parking calculations, this says 50 off-site. The covenants and restrictions acknowledge that there is a parking deficiency. With those 50 stalls that were identified, are you anticipating that your patrons will walk that nearly half mile up 110, or is there some other plan?
No, we're going to be providing them a shuttle service
Shuttle
to the
service.
facility.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Any other questions?
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Please.
I'm sorry. In the event that the site where those 50 stalls are gets rented, and those sites no longer, and those stalls no longer become available, then what's the plan?
I believe that we've accounted for that already. That's not the full amount of spots in that parking lot.
So do they have a written agreement for those parkings? Hold on. We got to get it on the record. It's okay for you to nod your head, but it's not getting on the record. Okay, tell us about the agreement and how long is it for the additional parking?
How long is it for? Perpetually? It's 10 to 15 years minimum, I'm being told. Sure.
Okay.
Hi.
Again, please
If I may-
state your name.
William J. Cohen, AIA Architect of Record for the project. I will attest to here that the property in question at 110, Route 110, quarter mile south of this property on the westerly side of the street, that is not the current photograph of the building. I'm actually the architect of record for that building as well, and the principal and ownership of that building are partners in this venture as well. So that being said, they have a minimum 10 to 15 year agreement in place already, since he is also one of the principals of Next Generation Sports. So there's absolutely no issue that that situation will ever disappear. I apologize that 50 additional parking spots showed up on the plans. It's actually more about 65. The back of the site, the westerly part of that Sophia site, which is now Lifestyle Sports.
Okay, hold on, slow down. Let's go to the back part
The
there.
back of that lot has got extensive parking back there. And it's over 70 spots. It's a huge lot.
Yeah, that's right.
And the ownership can attest to it when they do testify, but they've already put an agreement in place written, as well as the fact they do intend, if there is any overflow requirement, if there's a special event or a special league or something that's going on a specific date, they've already arranged for a shuttle service, as previously stated, to be able to accommodate this overflow if it ever comes to that. So those accommodations already are in place.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No? All right, thank you. Counsel, is there
Thank you, Bill.
anyone else that is going to testify regarding the,
No, I think we're okay. Unless the board has more
hold on, Dan?
questions.
So I heard the civil engineer was coming up. So I do have a question about the building since it was mentioned. So normally this structure is really for 1 story, but we're going 2 stories. So what's being considered in those calculations, especially with wind strength and hurricanes and all that stuff?
You're going to, oh, he said civil engineer.
Okay, again, please state your name.
Once again, William J. Cohen, AIA, architect of record for Next Generation Sports. I will say this, I'm an architect for 35 years, I'm licensed in 7 states, and the science that is going to this building in terms of structural engineering is quite extraordinary. Typically, pre-engineered buildings such as this, as I testified to previously, are usually a 1-story structure, slab on grade. The fact that it is technically a multi-story building, there's an extensive amount of engineering that I'm learning. I will tell you, wind speeds and all the forces and lateral forces and everything going into this are being very carefully calculated by a local engineering firm based in Massapequa Park with extensive experience in this type of structure. And the building itself is being constructed with a firm out in the Midwest. I can't tell you the calculations, but I know there's a lot of forces in this building, and if I'm putting my name to it, believe me.
Fair enough. And then the side of the building, is that also going to be prefabricated metal or is it going to be concrete?
The sides of the building are going to be, yes, they're going to be metal panels, yes. Insulated metal panels.
Okay, and then for the HVAC system, it's not going to be rooftop units?
No, they're going to be, well, they're technically, they call them rooftop units, but they're going to be ground mounted. There's 6 units.
Can we go back to the color? So you were bringing that up? Okay, let's take a look at that. The rendering, yeah.
This one has the exterior.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it has interior.
Do we know where the proposed HVAC units are going to be placed on the ground?
They're in development right now. We're just finalizing all that, but I believe it's 6 units, so it'll probably be 2 on the side and 2 in the back.
Is that on the site plan or not yet?
I don't believe it shows it as of yet.
All right. Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay. Counsel?
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I'd just like to point out for the record and to amplify some of the conditions. Condition number 21, I'm sorry, in regard to the parking is requiring the applicant to provide us with a recorded document off-site parking lease agreement. And that means that this extra parking in this agreement will be of public record and will be discoverable with the deed. So it will guarantee that the spaces remain available and the agreement will be recorded against both parcels. So if there's a change down the road, that would have to be a release of that recorded agreement, which would require the town's involvement.
Counsel, I also see in that area, subject to submission of recorded off-site parking, a provision of adequate shuttle service. Will that also have to be documented?
Normally, the shuttle agreements are not in the parking agreements because they don't relate directly to the real estate or the land, but that's part of the condition here. So the town will have the assurance of the agreement that the parking leasing agreement is there and the shuttle agreement will be enforced as part of that.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions by the board? Okay. Councilors, you want to add something?
That concludes our presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the board regarding this application? Seeing no one and hearing no one, I'm going to request a motion from the board to close the hearing and to reserve decision. Let's see, who asked the best questions? Dan, will you offer
Motion?
that motion? Okay. Second by Jerry.
Second.
The grandfather, all in favor? Aye. The public hearing has now been closed, and as we've mentioned, the decision reserved. So as I said, the decision has been reserved in order for us to review any feedback that we may have received this evening or any open site plans. The record will remain open for written comments to follow up on the status of the application or to submit additional written comments. You can contact the Town of Babylon Planning Department in a number of different ways. In person, planning is located on the west wing of Town Hall. Additional documents Application documents, plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. or by phone, 631-957-3103, or by email planningcomments@townofbabblinny.gov. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you all for your time. Appreciate it.
Wish you a very successful project. You're welcome.
Do you mind making the announcement that we're going to move to the work session?
Oh, yes, thank you very much. So that concludes our public hearings. We're now going to close our broadcast, and we're going to go into